Welcome to another episode of Bent Not Broken. Heartbreak and trauma may feel like the end of your story, but here it's the beginning of a bold new chapter. I'm your host, Coach Deborah Griffiths, and this is the space where women rise, rebuild, and rediscover their purpose. Remember this truth: you are bent, not broken. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bent Not Broken. I'm your host, Coach Deborah, and today's bonus coaching episode is for anyone who feels lost, stuck, broke, emotionally exhausted, or afraid of starting over. After my conversation with David Nassif, I kept thinking about how many people silently believe that when life falls apart, their story is over. Maybe you've experienced job loss. Maybe divorce turned your world upside down. Maybe a toxic relationship shattered your confidence. Maybe you're trying to rebuild after emotional abuse, financial hardship, or a season that nearly broke you. And when those moments happen, fear gets loud. Fear will tell you you're too old, you're too far behind, you'll never recover, you'll never heal, and that you've failed. But what if the breakdown is actually the beginning of your next rebuild? David's story is powerful because he lost the very thing that defined him, his career. After nearly 40 years of working, he suddenly found himself unemployed, scared, and wondering how he would survive financially. He openly shared what it felt like to believe his life was falling apart. And honestly, so many people feel the same way after divorce, trauma, or any other major life transition. When the life you built disappears, it can feel like you disappeared too. But here's what I want you to remember today. You are not broken. You are rebuilding. This is a huge difference. One of the most important things David talked about was his mindset. He stopped waiting for someone else to save him and decided he had to reclaim his future himself. That applies emotionally too. Healing and recovery don't happen overnight. Rebuilding your confidence doesn't happen in one giant leap. It happens in small, intentional decisions repeated consistently over time. One healthy decision, one courageous conversation, one boundary, one job application, one therapy session, one financial change, one moment where you stop believing the lie that your best days are behind you. That's how recovery begins. And I know many listeners are navigating divorce or emotional abuse recovery right now. And when you leave unhealthy relationships, you often lose more than the relationship itself. You lose identity, stability, financial security, confidence. Sometimes you even lose yourself. And that's why starting over feels so terrifying. But I want to challenge something today. Starting over is not punishment. Sometimes it's freedom. Sometimes the very thing you thought would destroy you becomes the catalyst that helps you heal, rebuild, and finally reclaim your purpose. And yes, there will be moments where you feel lost. But being lost does not mean you are failing. It means you are in transition. David talked about how comparison steals joy. And this is so important during recovery. Stop measuring your chapter 1 against someone else's chapter 20. Your journey is your journey. Your purpose is still valid even if life fell apart. And maybe today, your only job is to take one small step forward. That counts. Maybe your rebuild looks emotional before financial. Maybe your healing starts mentally before physically. Maybe your recovery begins with simply believing that your story is not over. because it's not. You still have purpose. You still have value. You still have time. And if today feels heavy, remember this. The strongest people are not the ones who never fall apart. They are the ones who choose to rebuild anyway. Thank you so much for joining me for this bonus coaching episode of Bent Not Broken. If this episode encouraged you, please follow, rate, review, and share the show so more people can heal, rebuild, and reclaim their lives after difficult seasons. And if you're ready for deeper support in your own recovery and starting over journey, I'd love to invite you to learn more about the Living Bold program through Broken to Boldness. And until next time, remember, you may be bent, but you are not broken. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Bent, Not Broken. I hope that this episode reminded you that even through life's toughest moments, you are bent, not broken. If this message inspired you, please share, rate, review, and subscribe, as it helps us reach more women who are ready to rise and rebuild. And until next time, keep living bold and walking in your purpose.